Hey everyone, and welcome to a game. This game is called Higurashi When They Cry. 7th expansion presents Welcome to Hinamizawa When They Cry. Now, I really wanted to play this game for a long time. Because I finished watching the second season a year ago. The first season was phenomenal. The second season was even better. I didn't watch the third season OVA or the fourth season OVA yet, or the newest episode that came out in 2013. What was it called again? Outbreak? Yeah, Daybreak is a PSP game. So, I'm going to be playing this game. I I barely remember anything. I seriously I seriously I barely remember anything other than there's a curse. And that this is an actual place called Shirakawa. I think that's the name of it, isn't it, editor? Yeah, this is the exact same place. Because the photography is done by the person down there below, 7th expansion. He went to Shirakawa and took a ton of pictures. Like, this is beautiful. These are real pictures. Just like in Tokyo School Life, these are real pictures. Let's get into it. Don't be sad. The world may not forgive you, but I do. Don't be sad. You may not forgive the world, but I forgive you. Tell me, what must I do to earn your forgiveness? That's deep. Oh yeah, I added voices into this. It took a while, but yeah. If I was going to be ripped apart anyways, having my body ripped apart would have been far better. I trusted her. No, I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I still trust her. But I'm starting to realize I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. It was as if I was trying to convince myself with a silly sobbing voice, and those tears were making a mess of my face. That mechanical repetitive sound finally stilled and everything fell silent, repetitive. Only the cries of cicadas remained, annoyingly loud, and yet I felt as if I can still hear her voice, but that's not possible. She is no longer speaking. I think he's talking about Rena. The only one crying is me. She never cried. Even when she repeated those words over and over, she never expressed any emotion because there was nothing to show. If she had no tears to shed for me, then I shouldn't need to shed any for her. Then why this pain? My eyes getting moist. Why is this happening? I still wanted to believe I hadn't been split apart. That's enough, right? Inside of me, an inner voice whispered gently. My spirit had suffered enough, and countless times I wavered over whether I should just throw the battered thing away. Except I've suddenly refused to do that, haven't I? I'd feel better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that, I chose to believe, didn't I? Only I can understand that painful struggle, and I appreciate it. Hey, me? I tried more than enough. I've acknowledged that much. So, isn't that alright to just take the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind. With her. Like flowers by a grave. Yep, Rena Ryugu. He's talking about her. Now then. Calm your nerves. Even though you can't feel your right arm. Just lift it up. And with every swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting your head. I loved how demure you were. Because this will be the last time. Because when I swing this down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. Perhaps I really did love you. Higurashi. We're getting into it. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright, just be right back. Somebody has been apologizing for a while now. I wonder what she's apologizing for. It felt wrong to eavesdrop, but I tried to ignore it. It had been a while since I last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Even though I've lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. Those skyscrapers and the multi-lane roads, the melodious cacophony of the crosswalk. Even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. I want to say, the fifth visual novel, Mayakashi, or hold on a moment. Mayakashi was released not too long ago, and everyone's buying it on Steam. It's an answer arc to the second visual novel. To the it's. Let me just say this: it's an answer arc to Watanagashi, the second chapter of this game. So, it's an answer arc. You get to play as the person who. Whatever, I'm not gonna get into it. I forget. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. So basically, there's going to be 5 seasons, 6 if they continue with the series. There's only the chirping of locusts, and the babbling of brooks, and the cry of the Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Rather than making me feel lonely, the quietness had begun to install a sense of serenity. There's nothing where I'm living now. I don't just mean there aren't any burger joints. There aren't even vending machines. No music stores, no restaurants, and no arcades. Even an ice cream parlor would be unlikely. The nearest town had some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike. But come to think of it, it wasn't really a big deal. There were music stores and arcades and ice cream parlors, but it wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them. Yeah, good point! I'd lived in the city for 10 years and never once have been to an ice cream parlor. Seriously? Let me tell you something. I remember this as a kid. Editor better pay attention to this because this is very relatable. Whenever I used to live in an apartment complex, back when I was younger, I was living at a complex, co-op or wherever it is, and every single, once in a lifetime, very rarely would an ice cream truck come across our street, and a bunch of kids would be going at it. But you know what was on the side of the ice cream truck? A Sonic ice cream cone with Sonic holding an ice cream. I'm not joking. I mean, look up a picture and post it to this video and tell me I'm not lying, because I saw that crap and I remember it. I still remember it. A Sonic ice cream cone. How did they pull that crap off? Plus it was in Canada, so why not America? Did they? I don't know. I should have gone to at least once. Here's the thing, I actually never bought ice cream at a truck. I never did, once in my life. And I haven't seen an ice cream truck in ages. Ages! I haven't seen one yesterday! Like, God. It's a good thing, too, because I don't want to act like a kid anymore. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little. Somebody's still apologizing. Who is she apologizing to? She's apologized too much. Just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologize so much. He started to feel a bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad the mistake, no, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. There's no such thing as an irreparable mistake. You just need to be more careful next time. She's still apologizing. Even now. Then, has she really done something that can't be fixed? I have no idea what she's done, but it can't be fixed. But if it can't be fixed, then that's all the more reason to forgive her. No matter how much she apologizes, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologizing in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey, you, the one she's apologizing to. Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? She's apologizing in such a pathetic voice.
Keiichi, そろそろ着くぞ.
See? I added the voices in. It took a hell of a lot of work and pain and sweat to do that. But there was this thing on GitHub that transferred the PS3 voices to put them into these games. And I think, yep, to make things less boring, I'm going to at least put voices in it. Because I don't want to do the voices anymore. I mean, even if I wanted to.
起きなさい.
I was finally roused from my nap by my father's prodding. It seemed the train had reached its final stop. I don't know what happened there. We spent hours riding everything from a bullet train to the local routes. How long is it? How long? These are real pictures, remember that. They're beautiful too. The watercolor added to it, it's beautiful. Believe it or not, I think Tokyo School Life had the exact same watercolor texture to it. Now that I remember, it did. But it's been a long time since I got back into that game. And hell of a lot more to get back into Malice Code. I probably will never get back to that game, even though I really want to or would. It's a horror game, and I had no idea. Would have been a great asylum out of creeps. No. Wait. It was hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window and the city I was in a half a day ago were in the same country. No. That they were even from the same era. That's deep. From there, we take a car deeper into the mountains. Higurashi Season 2 has to have a dub with the returning cast. Seriously. Past where the dense forest encroaching on the mountain road suddenly opened up. Oh yeah, I have to mention, Miyakashi's voices are being uploaded to GitHub right now. And I'm being honest here, they actually planned ahead. I'm so surprised. Like, Miyakashi was released like on the 28th of April. And I gotta say, I'm really surprised. Like, they actually freaking planned ahead. The people at GitHub planned ahead for the voices. There it is. There, where I live in now. Hinamizawa. Now, I'm gonna say this right now. Since these are videos of the game, I'm not just gonna be recording for chapters. I'm gonna be putting seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's Keiichi's room. Even though we were approaching summer, the morning air still had a frigid bite. Although, in exchange, you could fill your lungs up with crisp, clean air. Flipping open the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Nothing but trees. The neighboring house was far away on the other side, so I was probably the only one enjoying the view and that air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath. Since I started living in Hinamizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. Okay, just hold on a moment. I want to ask you all a question, including the editor. Do you know when the original Onikakushi, this chapter, came out? It came out back in 2002. That's right, this game was released in 2002, the first chapter. The very last running chapter, Say or whatever it was released in 2015. I'd like to say 2002. Man, they did a great job. Oh, also, I wanted to mention that there's something in the configurations. You can add the original character sprites if you'd like, but I'm not going to do that. The original character sprites from the first game, I mean, back in 2002. I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. For some reason, this game gives me a strange sense of nostalgia. I mean, listen to the songs they have. My mother was only there, my father was nowhere to be seen. He was probably working up until early morning. That had a rather unconventional job as a painter. It's such a laid-back profession. Get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work when you want. I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grow up. Dad was ecstatic about that. But it was just because it looked easy. I never tell him that though. Really? You should have told him. I mean, don't hide things from your parents. That's not right. It really isn't right to hide things from your parents. You have to tell them right away. Mom laid breakfast out on the table. Seaweed, pickled vegetables, raw eggs, and grilled salmon. My mom was such a good cook. It was scary. I can only imagine. Or I couldn't. A perfect, immaculate, ideal breakfast. Unlike my dad, who didn't even know the meaning of the word schedule, my mom never squandered any time of effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. It seems like she was in a good mood today.
こっちに引っ越してきてから圭一が早起きになって嬉しいわね。
早起きしないと朝飯を食いそびれるんだよ。
Remember, this is a voice mod. And that was being cute, responding with a wisecrack after being praised for being good.
ご飯はいっぱい？それとも半分くらいでいい？
山盛り。
Pile it on. Just pile it on. First, I savored the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that, I covered it with the egg. Give me the eggs. Nope. I don't want that. It's been a long time since I played that pumpkin game. Between bites of rice, I enjoyed the crunch of the pickles. The pickles? Oh, you got the pickles? Not bad at all. That was Dave Cook, the Burger King. Excellent as usual. Watching me clean my plate, Mom gave me a warm smile.
こっちに引っ越してきてから圭一が朝食を欠かさないんで嬉しいわね。
I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I slept right until the last minute before school and rarely ate breakfast, boycotting the breakfast Mom made me each morning. That was probably the only way I could protest being forced to attend cram school. Boycotting it? Are you kidding me? Why would you boycott a breakfast? That's horrible! She put her life and soul into that breakfast and you boycott it? I know what that word means, but you shouldn't do that! I guess that was what you'd call my rebellious phrase. I wouldn't so much as look at the breakfast she woke up. She woke up early every day to make. That's horrible. If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself. You do that! I'd slap myself if I ever did that. Mindful of the time, Mom rushed me along with a wide grin.
そろそろレナちゃんと待ち合わせの時間じゃない？急いで急いで。
Mom really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Really? 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 Rena is one of my classmates. She really loves looking after people, so coming to meet me every day without fail. The way I looked at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl was just lame. When did you think about this, you schmuck? But keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. Seriously though, how long does Rena wait there for me every morning? Taking one last cup of miso soup, I raced for the door. Bye bye.
レナちゃんにお漬物ありがとうって伝えてね。
Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought, were they? If I'd known that, I would have savored them a bit more. Really?
Ayo!
And here she is, Rena Ryugu. There's a little puffball of joy. Her cheerful grin was as fresh as the morning itself.
相変わらず早いな。たまにはのんびり朝寝坊したっていいんだぜ。
お寝坊したら圭一君を待たせちゃうじゃない。
She's so conscientious. And such a good person.
そん時は置いてく。
圭一君冷たい。いつも待っててあげてるのに。
サクサク置いてく。キリキリ置いてく。
どうして冷たいんだろう。
Rena had a slightly troubled look on her face. Toying with her was rather fun because of how quickly her mood changed.
嘘。ちゃんと待ってるよ。
With those words, Rena seemed to relax. How is that so easy? Her face flushed bright red.
ありがとう。
レナが来るまでずーっと待ってる。いつまでも。
Does she have a crush on him? Rena turned bright red, steam grabbed from her head. Steam rising from her head! Really? As her brain short-circuited. I can't help but read this and laugh. She's especially weak to this sort of talk. It's quite rare to find someone who's fun to tease.
レナはロマンスものの文庫本は読んだことあるか？
ないよ。読んだことない。
Really? From that response, I gather she was interested in them, but was too embarrassed to actually buy one. Oh, you can't handle the truth, can ya? Jack Nicholson, I'll slap ya. No. I couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one. She'd probably turn right and pass out. I wonder, does she have narcolepsy? Maybe, maybe not. Now I suddenly have the urge to start playing the English version of Little Busters. Do you guys remember Little Busters? My god, that was a great visual novel that I never played. It was released by Key, the ones behind Clanad, Canon, Air, and Little Busters. The animes of those were beautiful. Just, I don't know. People have been making fan versions of Japanese games to be translated, and I had no idea. Like, as soon as I heard about Little Busters being English versioned, that's not a word. I never thought of it, but as soon as I heard it, I thought, wait, is it going to be an English dub now? And they said no. It was during a Twitter Twitter name, and it was during a Twitter conversation between me and someone else, and he said no, it's just that they're getting Japanese dubs, and his freaking icon was Fuko with a party hat, like it was in the anime of Clannad. I love that one. Anyway, I'm all out of time because I started started getting myself into a bunch of soliloquy. So, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you like this video, check out the annotations at the end of the video. And as always, I'll see you in the next episode of Higurashi When They Cry, Onikakushi chapter.